I think to start off, I'm super excited because I'm in a room full of people who literally help people for a living. Like everybody here helps people for a living. Everybody here makes or helps others fulfill their dreams, right? And I'm super excited to be in this room, and I'm super excited to be able to share my message with you this evening. And so before I really even get started, I want you guys to give yourself a round of applause, because I think that too often people are celebrating you, but you need to celebrate yourself. So give yourself a round of applause. There we go. Now, when I grabbed the mic, I said yes, yes. And so I want you guys to repeat after me. Yes, yes. There we go. Now we're gonna pause real quick, and we're gonna talk about yes, yes, right? Because I want you guys to understand why it is that I say yes, yes. If you guys follow me on social media, if you guys know me, yes, yes is my response to everything, right? And so I want you guys to understand what it means, because it has a lot to do with what I'm gonna talk about this evening. Now, when we talk about setting goals and New Year's resolution and conquering those goals, it all really starts with permission. Yeah, permission. It all starts with us giving ourselves permission to think better, permission to do better, and permission to be better. And so when I say yes, yes, that's my way of giving you permission to do just that. All right, so when it comes to yes, 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 yes really is giving you permission. And so that's why I always say yes, yes. Now, my yes, yes is 2 permissions that I give myself every day. And so every morning when I wake up, I give myself permission to reevaluate my purpose. And so you might be thinking, really, Eddie? Every day you wake up and you reevaluate your purpose? Well, yeah, I need to reevaluate if my purpose still lines up with who I am and where I'm going. And that's important, because things change. And change is good, but we have to realize it early. And so the first thing I do is that I give myself permission to go ahead and keep following that purpose. And now the second yes, that's me giving myself permission to be the best version of myself, because I know that the only way that I'm going to be able to conquer my goals is by me being the best version of myself. And so when I say yes, yes, it's twofold. First, I'm reassuring myself of the permission I gave myself this morning to be the best version of myself. Then I'm giving you permission to either continue following your purpose, if you're doing that already, or to start. Regardless of whatever you do for a living, living your life towards a purpose is important. And so that's where yes, yes comes from. Yes, yes comes from that place. And so for me, I believe that a great life is lived best when we live in purpose, on purpose. And sometimes all it takes is that little bit of inspiration to kind of get you to move towards where you need to be going, to kind of get you to focus on what matters. And what matters is you. What matters is your purpose. So that's the yes, yes part. And so that's what I mean when I say yes, yes. And so I hope that moving forward, when you hear yes, yes, you know that means you have the permission to be the best version of yourself, because that's what we need in 2023. Whatever worked last year, that's great, but we want to have a better year. So we need to be the best version of ourselves this year. Okay, so now I was told, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I was told that everybody here was invited to be here, right? So it's not just, Juan por su casa just walking in, right? Everybody that's here was invited to be here. And so that to me means that everybody here is meant to be here. Like you're meant to be here, and you're chosen to be here. And you're not chosen to be here because Nate hit you up, or Marlon, or Carol. No, it's not them. You're chosen to be here because whatever you believe in wanted you to be here, because there's a message that I'm going to share with you tonight, and you deserve that message. And I'm not saying that whoever is not here doesn't deserve that message. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that timing is important. You know what I'm talking about. Timing is important, and this is the right time for you to receive this message. And so again, this is very important. This is why I wanted to grab your attention. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, but it's super important that you hear what I have to say tonight. And so, mi vasito de agua. And so, like Marlon said, my name is Eddie Tranzcendent. I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm a personal and workplace development coach, and I'm a podcaster. Some of you might know me from a podcast. Some of you have interviewed on my podcast, right? And so that's who I am. I'm born and raised in Bridgeport. In fact, I was raised where we're at right now. Like when I was a kid, I lived here. And so a lot of who I am was shaped right in this area. My first job was literally selling roses off of I-95 on exit 27. My first job, 7, 8 years old. After that, I worked at a grocery store that sat right in the parking lot of where T-Mobile and Chipotle and all that stuff is. There was a building there. There was a grocery store. It was called Flores Grocery Store. And I worked at that store. I stocked shelves and I did my thing, right? To help mom because we needed money, right? And so next to that, there was a used appliances store and there was a social club, right? And then in the corner, there was a restaurant. And that restaurant was called La Familia Restaurant. And so those of you who are from Bridgeport, you might remember that, right? And so one day, the owner of that restaurant came in and he saw me working and he stole me. Like he legit stole me from there and took me to the restaurant to go work with him. I started in the back peeling potatoes, peeling onions, whatnot, and working my way to the front. Why do I bring that up? I bring that up because tonight for me, this is a full circle moment. And so by show of hands, how many of you have ever had one of those full circle moments where your life in some aspect has come in full circle? Coño, solamente uno. Okay, good, right? And so you guys know exactly what I mean. And so for me, from selling roses to working at the store to then working at the restaurant to then going to high school, joining the army, going overseas, coming back home, working for the state of Connecticut for 7.5 years and quitting that job to pursue my purpose. And then 2 3 weeks ago, have Nate call me and ask me to join him here at this event. That's my full circle moment. And I'm super excited to be able to share that with you guys tonight. And so tonight, what I want to do, again, is I want to share with you, I want to share with you a message because this is the time of the year when we're all setting goals, right? We're all setting New Year's resolutions, right? And it's so easy to set the resolutions, but often we don't necessarily conquer those resolutions that we have. And so what we want to talk about is some ways that we can do that, right? And so for me, my full circle taught me a lot. And a lot of what it taught me is what I'm going to talk to you about tonight. And so what I'm going to share with you tonight are what I like to call the 3 principles to a purposeful year. If you open your folder, you'll find it right in there if you want to read along. I'll try my hardest to say it the way it's on there. I try to memorize it. But that's the 3, again, the 3, let's get to that page. The ABCs to a purposeful 2023. Now, before we get there, I need to tell you guys that in all reality, statistics are against you. And what I mean by that is that statistics say that most people quit under New Year's resolution by February 1st. That means that most people by February 1st, they're done. Today is January 10th. That means we have 20 days before some of y'all are going to quit on your resolutions. And we need to make sure that doesn't happen, right? And that same statistic also showed that when they polled 2,000 people, those 2,000 people said that the longest they went before they quit was really 32 days. 32 days, and 68% of those didn't even make it to the 32 days. And that to me, when I read it, it sounded crazy. It looked crazy. But then I started to think about it, and I was like, wow, have I ever been part of that 68% who had a goal, who had a New Year's resolution, and I didn't follow through with it? And the truth is, yes. And I'm sure that some of you that are listening and right now with me here tonight have been there and have been part of that 68%. And what's even crazier is that 1 in 7 people that were polled have said that they have set New Year's resolutions knowing in their heart that they don't believe they can achieve it. They're setting New Year's resolutions because other people are doing it around them and it's super cool to do it. They don't want to be left out. They want to be part of the group that's setting New Year's resolutions, but in their heart, they don't believe that they can achieve it. And so that to me is troubling because it means that you don't believe in yourself. It means that you're doing things because other people are doing it, and that's not how we want to live. We want to live a life where we do things because we want to do it, not because other people are doing it. And now that same poll talked about the ways that people are holding themselves accountable to be able to fulfill those goals or those New Year's resolutions. And one of the ways is that they tell other people, right? So rather than just keep it to themselves, they go over here and they're telling this group and they're telling that group and they're like, hey, this is what I'm doing next year. I'm gonna get this many closes and I'm gonna do this, right? Because the idea is that if a lot of people know it, there's that pressure now because people know and you don't want to let them down, right? And so that's one of the ways that people are holding themselves accountable. Another way is that people are teaming up, right? So I'm coming over here to Steven and I'm saying, hey, bro, I have these goals. Let's do it together, bro. Because the idea now is that if I do it with him, then now all the weight is not on my shoulders. Si algo pasa, if something happens, Steven wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing, right? And so that's the idea. The idea is that. And then the people that can afford it, those people are spending upwards of 15 grand a year to get a coach to help them stay accountable, right? And so those are ways that people are trying to stay accountable because they know how important it is to conquer these goals. And so that leads me to my first principle, and my first principle is accountability. And you can see that in the folder that you have. We must remain accountable to ourselves regardless of whether or not we're en route to accomplish that goal or if we're not. Because you know what the problem is? That we're so quick to point at her and say, oh, she didn't do what she said she was going to do. She didn't follow up. She didn't do what she was going to do. Oh, homeboy over here, he didn't do what he said he was going to do. We're so quick to talk. We're so quick to judge. But when it's us, bro, we turn a blind eye to ourselves. And we don't hold ourselves accountable. And accountability is the key to be able to get these things done. And so some of the ways that you can help yourself be more accountable are, number one, Carol talked about it, get yourself a mentor or a coach. Get yourself a mentor or a coach who has been where you've been, who has done what you've done. Because everybody here is different. And everybody here has different things that motivate them. And so the idea is that if you could talk to different people, you're going to find that person that has that trick, that has that way of really getting you to hold yourself accountable. And so that's the first thing. Get yourself a coach. The second way that you can help yourself be more accountable is to get an accountability partner or partners, right? That means that instead of me saying, yo, Steven, I need you to come with me, let's do this together. No, I'm saying, yo, Steven, my idea this year is that I want to be able to close these many properties, right? And this is my strategy, right? So I'm not just telling Steven my goal. I'm telling Steven my strategy because I don't need Steven to come to me in December and say, hey, Eddie, you did it? No, I need him to come to me next week and be like, hey, how's that strategy looking? Because we have to hold ourselves accountable every step of the way, and the accountable partner is going to be able to hold you accountable every step of the way because he knows your strategy. And you may have one or you may have a couple. And when you have a couple, now we're talking about the people that you surround yourself with. And now we're talking about boundaries. That's the second principle. Setting boundaries when you're setting these goals is so important to help you be able to manage your time better, to help you be able to really put action to whatever that goal is, and to really help you make sure that the people that are around you are people that are going to help you grow, not people that are holding you down. And we all have those people in our lives that hold us down. We do. And some of them are good friends. Steven is my good friend, but he's holding me down, so I don't want to say nothing to him. He's also a little bigger than me. But you know, the idea is that we want to make sure that we know who's around us and that we know that the people around us are going to help us get to where we're going. And that's all in the boundaries that we set. So first is accountability, then is boundaries. And so with these boundaries, when you think about them, we need to think about two things. It's a few things, but tonight I only got 15 minutes. So the first thing is that we need to set these boundaries early. Not today, not January 10th. We need to set them on January 1st when we talk about those New Year's resolutions. Because your boundaries need to line up with your resolution. And it needs to line up. It goes hand in hand. Your ambition needs to match your action. And so those boundaries are part of the action. And so the first thing is that we need to make sure that we're setting these boundaries early. Yo, Steve, we're not going to be hanging out this summer. Ya temprano. We're not going to wait till the summer till he hits me up and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. No, do it right now, bro. It's a wrap. Late compounds ain't happening, brother. Like whatever it is. We have to make sure that we set them early. But we have to make sure, number two, that we set them small. We start small. You know what happens a lot of times is that we overwhelmed ourselves with these ideas. Oh my God, yo, what's that? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. By the way, I'm super Latino, so I super Spanglish shit. But listen, so we're there and we're like, oh my God, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's so much that then what that does is that it gives us an excuse to say, you know what, I couldn't do it because era demasiado, it was too much. And so we have to start small. And so when we start small, what we do is that we start to reevaluate ourselves as we go. And so as you go, you evaluate yourself every week and you see where you're at. And you're like, you know what, wow, I didn't think I was going to get this far forward so soon. Let me go ahead and readjust my goal and let me readjust my boundary. You know? And so what we're doing is that we're readjusting as we go. Right? We start small and then we readjust as our goal and we start to build habits. I think somebody talked about habits. Marlon, somebody said something about habits. Was it you? You got bad habits or something. I don't know. But so now we talk about habits, right? And so when we talk about habits, we now go into the third principle, which is consistency. You know, the importance of a consistency is that consistency is going to help you build habits that are going to be pretty much the basis, or I think the paper says the blueprint of your legacy. And so we're talking about legacy, and I know, man, in this little small event at Boca, whatever, like legacy, that's a big word. Nah, all of you guys are going to leave a legacy. And I don't know what that legacy is. That legacy may be bigger than the other. I mean, for me, I want to be one of the best speakers in the U.S. My legacy is going to be big. They're going to know who I am, right? But your legacy might be smaller, and that's okay. But these habits that you start to build now are going to build that legacy. And so what are you doing to make sure that you're building habits that become the blueprint to your legacy, and you can become a mentor later, and you can help others later because you built kind of that basis of how it is that you did what you did. And you take that blueprint in 2024 and bam, expand it, right? And so some things to think about when we think about consistency is that we have to make sure we are kind of following along with our progress weekly and monthly. We're not waiting for the first quarter. We're not waiting for the second quarter. We're not waiting for the Christmas party at the end of the year. No. We're following through every week, every month to make sure that we're being consistent with the things that we said we were going to do. And if things didn't really working out, then we can stop, we can pause, and we can back up a little bit and say, you know what, we have to readjust this. Because it's okay to readjust goals. What's not okay is you just leave them behind and act like they weren't there. But we can readjust them. And so what we want to do is that every week and every month, we want to make sure that we are looking at them and we're talking to our accountability partner. We're friends again, me and Steven, right? And so we're talking to him and we're making sure that we're going the right way that we're supposed to be going. And the second thing when it comes to consistency is escaping my mind. Somebody can shout it out. The second thing when it comes to consistency is that we have to make sure that we're celebrating small wins. And that's what we did tonight. We gave a round of applause for ourselves. We have to celebrate ourselves every time. Every time we have a small win, it doesn't matter what it is. Celebrate it. We don't have to wait till the Christmas party. We don't have to wait that far. Celebrate yourself now. You're working your ass off now, so celebrate yourself now. And so that's part of how you keep yourself consistent, because you want to be able to keep celebrating yourself, and you want those people who you go home to see you being successful and see you celebrating yourself, and so that's going to drive you to want to be more successful and celebrate yourself even more. Now, these three principles are super important, but they're not as important as self-awareness, knowing who you are, knowing where you're going. And so I need you to please, like these things are all super important, but I need you to please take some time to get to know who you are, learn yourself. Learn yourself, understand yourself. Not what this guy knows. Who am I? Learn yourself, understand yourself, believe in yourself, and love yourself. And it'll make these ABCs go a lot smoother once you know who you are and you believe in yourself. Now, setting goals or setting New Year's resolution and conquering them, man, it's hard. Like, I know. Like, let me see. Los dientes míos could be as nice as Nate's teeth. Where's Nate? Yo, Nate be smiling at every picture now. Yo, he got the eyes, he got the teeth. He's taking a picture, I bet sure he's smiling. Nate, papi. Yo, Nate, los dientes. Fine, right? So, listen. My teeth could be like that, but I screwed up with the Invisalign, man. I wasn't consistent. I wasn't setting those boundaries. I was eating whatever I wanted. I was leaving them at home, and I screwed up, and now I got a gap. It's crazy, right? And so, again, this is all part of keeping consistency, boundaries, and accountability. Now, like I said, it's hard for us to set goals and achieve them. And one of the biggest reasons is because of the judgment that you're going to get from others. When we set goals, our first thought is, what if I fail? It's not what if I do what I said I was going to do. It's what if I fail and she's going to be talking about me, right? In her table, they're going to be like, oh, he didn't do what he said he was going to do, right? And so because of that fear of judgment, we don't even set goals. We're like, you know what? I'm good because I don't want to fail. The fear of failure does that. And so what I want tonight is I want you guys tonight to get rid of all that fear that you have in your mind. I want you to get rid of it. And we're going to do that with five different challenges that I have for you tonight, right? And so if you go to page 3, you'll be able to see a document that's titled Up for the Challenge, right? And you can read right along with me. But these are 5 challenges that I have for you tonight, and I promise after that I'll let you go. You can go, do your thing, a little drink, a little food. And so my first challenge, you like that? My first challenge for you is to turn off the noise. And I'm going to get real serious because this is so serious for me. You need to turn off the noise. There's 2, 3, 4, 5 people who are super close to you who their opinion matters. Whether it's positive or negative, their opinion matters. Other than that 2, 3, 4 people around you, nobody else matters. That's all noise. And so I need you to turn off the noise. I don't care if people are cheering for you or they're booing for you. You need to turn it off. It doesn't matter. Because that booing or cheering got you thinking that you're something that you're not. And so you need to turn off the noise tonight. Así mira. Bang. If they're not part of that circle, you need to turn off the noise because what they think, what they say does not matter. And so my first challenge to you tonight is to turn off the noise for 2023. No hay ruido, se acabó. 2023, no noise. My second challenge for you is that I need you to please, like this folder that they put together, I need you to please consider at least some of the information in there. I know some of you probably got it. You guys got it all under control. I'm good. I don't need this. I'm killing the game. And I get it. But I need you to please look at this because I promise you that one of these 5 or 6 papers can help you. So please consider looking at this stuff. And if you have a question, reach out to me. I wouldn't mind talking to you. Okay, so that's my second challenge. My third challenge is that I'm challenging you tonight to please step outside of the box in 2023. Stop making these goals that are small and that you know you can achieve them. Step outside of the box. Think bigger. Whatever that dream or that goal is that you think is too big, I need you to think about that goal. Because you can't do it. You just need to put it in your mind that it's time for you to step outside and conquer that goal. And let me tell you something. Super serious. If your goal for 2023 is money, like if it's based on money, garbage. Garbage. I'm telling you right now because it just is. I love money. Believe me, I love money. But money ain't everything. It's deeper than that. And I need you to think deeper. When you think about this goal, if your goal was based on money, I need you to think deeper. What will this money do for you? And that pen that you have, write it down right now. Whatever comes to your mind as far as what the money can do, I want you to write it down. Because that's how you're going to be able to accomplish these goals, by thinking deeper than money. Money comes and goes. All the other things don't. I used to live on East Main Street, like I told you. I worked at the store. I didn't work at the store because it was cool. I worked at the store because we were poor. We needed money. And so now my mother lives in one of my apartments rent-free. So that's my why. It's not the money. It's that the money can help me pay for her rent. And upstairs from that apartment, my brother lives. He pays me half rent. The other half, he saves it because he's going to buy his own house. That's the why. My niece is recording this right there. That's my niece. Beautiful. Love her. I want her to know that whatever she wants to do is possible because I'm here right now. And I'm doing what I want to do. And so that's the why. That's the why. So what's your why? My wife is home right now pregnant with my first daughter. Bro, I'm hyped. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's go. And that's my why. I need the money. Believe me, we're going to need the money. But the money is for that. And so I'm not thinking about the money. I'm not thinking about the green. I'm thinking about my baby girl, Esmeralda. All right? And so what's your why? I challenge you to think about that why because money, man, that ain't going to cut it. Just money is not going to cut it. Number 4, I challenge you to work on you this year. I talked about this earlier. I challenge you to work on you. I challenge you to discover who you are. I don't know if this is it. I don't know if you're supposed to be doing this. I'm not sure. It might be something else. And I need you to work on yourself. If you look in the packet, there's a document called The Wheel of Life. I need you to complete that. Not tonight. Take it home. Make a copy. I need you to complete it. Because that's going to talk to you about your balance. Everybody's balance is different. And as much as we want to talk to the people on our table and tell them what our goals is, the truth is that it doesn't matter because everybody in your table has a different balance of life. And so I need you to work on the balance of your life. Work on you. That's super important. And number 5, the last challenge that I have for you tonight is that I need you, listen up. I need you to make this the best networking event of the year. I get it. It's January 10th, and this is the first event. You're like, really, bro? Like, I'm about to go to a few more. And some of you high speed probably already been to a few of them already because, man, these things are popping up everywhere. And I get it. But I need you to make this the best event of the year. And you have the power to do that. You have the power to talk to different people. Stop talking to the same person you've been talking to at every networking event. Talk to a different person. Ask different questions. Really discover other people and talk to them. They might be able to have something to help you, but you're so closed up and talking to the same people all the time. You walk in and you look around, you're like, oh, ahí está, voy para allá. No, talk to different people. Ask different questions. Make this the best event, the best networking event of the year. I know that you have the power to do that. And one way that we're going to do that tonight is that I'm going to take the liberty to divide you. All right, so you're sitting in the same table. That's super cute. We're about to break that up. You remember when you were in school? Break it up. Ya se acabó. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to break it up, okay? All right, so now we should have 4 groups, right? Think about it. We should really have 4 groups right now. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4. I know, es que la gente no está escuchando. You know how it is. But, this right here separates the room. And I wish I had more time to really go through this, but this separates the room. This means that these group of people here have a different personality than that group of people there. And this group over there has a different personality than this group, but we're all great. Somebody over here said something about being an ace or being what did she say? Where is she? What did you say? Dominant or something like that? Alphas. Yeah, she said alphas. Listen, we're all alphas because we're all great in our own way. And that's what I need you to understand. It's a room full of people, but we're all great in our way. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that you guys are talking to people that are not like you. And so a lot of you guys are sitting together because you guys are similar. That's super cool. But I need you to talk to people that are different than you because those clients that you're looking for, they're going to be different than you. And so we need to start learning who our clients are and how to address them. And we don't know how to address our clients, there's a chance that we're going to lose that sale. It's just a fact. But if you could show them that you know who they are and that you know how to work with them and that you could be a chameleon and you can fix yourself to help her and to help him and to help aquel, like, that takes you a whole long way. And that's going to take your 2023 game to a whole nother level. And so I just did that because I want you guys to understand that we're all together, we all do the same thing, but we're all different. But what's important is for us to talk to each other. And so this is you know, I'm closing on my discussion tonight. And before I close, I want to do another one of those full circle moments, right? So we're going to take this full circle to the top of my talk where I talked about yes, yes. And I need you guys to do me one favor. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. I will discover my purpose. I will discover my purpose. And I will become the best damn version of it that I can be. Let's go.